Yo, welcome back everyone. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft series, starting again from scratch. Once again, the last series kind of ran out of puff, as I often do when real life takes over. So what we've done this time is we've rolled another server. This time we are looking at the Resurrection pack, which is a pretty hardcore pack. It's got GregTech in it, which a lot of people don't like. I tend to actually like GregTech. I don't know. I just like the way it's a bit more difficult, and I always lean towards the technical sort of mods anyway. So here we are in our brand new world. You can see I've died once over there already. We've got Synthole. He's on as he always is. I've had a bit of a scout. I found this fantastic looking location here, and I think this is where I'm going to end up making my base. So I'm going to maybe dig across there into the side of that hill and make some sort of cave in there. I don't know, one of these places, and do the usual starting things. Yeah, so I just thought I'd introduce the new server as I do at the start of each of my seasons, and I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to cut this together just briefly to do a couple of extra things that I need to show you with the Resurrection pack, because there's a couple of tricky things I've discovered. So let me get set up. Let me do this basic sort of setup, and I will be back with you in just a moment. And we are back, and I've done a bit of the initial startup. You can see I'm up on the hill looking down here. I've got a few little wheat plants growing there. I've got a few saplings growing some trees to get some wood. I've put some dirt across here, which is, still getting covered over with grass. Just in there where my cursor's targeting now, there's a door, and there's just literally, I think there's one furnace and one chest in there and a little wee hollowed out space. So I haven't even got a bed yet. But what I thought I might do is just quickly introduce one of the bits with this pack that you really have to do. So if I turn around here, you can see all these bits of stone. There's some magnetite here. Vanadium magnetite looks exactly the same. And I think coal is very similar as well. Now, if you're very keen-eyed, you'll notice that this is stone, and this one right next to it is tin ore. Stone and tin ore, and that one, see the two like that, you can hardly tell them apart. So what we're going to do is, under options and resource packs, I've copied this thing, which is the Minimalist Technology Pack. I'll try and put a link to it in the description of this video so that you can find it. But what that does is it just adds about finding tin. So when you go back to game, there we go. So now you can see tin stands out a lot better, and you are going to need quite a lot of tin and quite a lot of copper. Now, the way ores are distributed in this pack, they are much different from the other packs. Gold is above ground. As you can see, I'm at height number 97, and this is where I'm finding tin. So tin is generally above ground in these massive runs of massive seams of ore, basically, massive ore veins. And you can sit here and mine for such a long time. There's no more finding just sort of 4 of these things by themselves. You really need to, mine out quite a massive amount. See, I've got 22 blocks of it already, and that's just while I've been talking. So there's a lot here for us to get through. So that's, I think, where I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to need a lot of stuff for GregTech. I'm going to come back up here and mine some of that later. Oh, there's something orange. Oh, bauxite ore, cool. So we're going to need a lot of copper, and I mean a lot of copper, as well as quite a bit of tin. The main reason is when we start GregTech is ridiculous this time around, but it's sort of ridiculous in a good way. So previously GregTech got quite technical, and I think it made a lot of people lose interest, whereas this time it's sort of got more stuff, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit easier to get your head around. So what they've done is they've made it so that you have to go through the Bronze Age first before you get electricity. So EU, I'm not quite sure how we're going to get EU. It's very difficult to make generators and stuff now. But now at least you can start with the steam furnace. So there we go, steam furnace. Smelting things with Christine, no, we want the not the steam compressor. There's a steam item here, a small coal boiler, that's the one. So you pipe some water into that, and that'll generate some steam for us, and then the steam can go through to our steam macerator and things like that. But of course, you need a lot of bronze. Bronze needs a lot of copper and a lot of tin. So I'm going to come back with a second episode very shortly with a starting of this steam and bronze age for GregTech. See if we can't get our first machines going. In the meantime, I'm going to have to spend quite a bit of time, I think, digging out my mine. So in here, I'm going to have to hollow this out a bit more and dig my usual sort of mine shaft down to try and find some of the other ores and build up some materials. So that's it for the introduction to the Resurrection pack. I'm running 1.0.0. At the time I'm recording this, there is a 1.0.1 out, but I don't really want to go to it. I did have a brief look at it, and it does a few weird things, so I'm sticking with 1.0.0. The other thing I should probably mention is, as per my other packs, I've actually added rotarycraft, reactorcraft, and electrocraft just because I really like Reikas mods. I always want to have a play with them at some point, so I put them in. And also I've taken Twilight Forest out, just because in my experience, Twilight Forest is a bit of a server killer of all the mods that I've run in the past. It's the one that seems to just kill servers in terms of loading them up with a lot of stuff. Even when no one's in the Twilight, it seems to modify the way creatures get hit and all sorts of things. So I've removed that as well. So that's it from me. Until next time, as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time with a slightly more interesting episode where we get started with GregTech. See you then.